What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Life's a Garden. If you're new to the program, please do us a favor. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you get your podcasts. Last week, we saw a significant jump in YouTube subscribers. Shout out to Spiked Mind and their friends, family, and fans. Here's the deal. We are this close to 200 subscribers on YouTube, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot to me. You know, I mean, it's just one more step towards that next level. 200, I think we're like 14 subs away. So, if you could help me get to 200, it would mean a lot. Please, share the podcast, invite your friends, let's get that to 200. We are so close. It would mean so much to me, and I would very much appreciate it, as always. Today's positive motivational message is do a kind act for your fellow man. Normally, when I'm doing a positive motivational message, it seems like I'm just offering advice. This week, I'm offering a challenge. Go out and do a selfless act for your fellow man. It can be a stranger, it can be a friend, it can be a family member. We should be doing this all the time, really, especially for our friends and family. But offer your services, offer a kind word. It can be any kind of gesture of kindness toward your fellow man. And uplift somebody. Like I said, you could help somebody in some physical manner. You could help somebody in an emotional manner. Just have a conversation with somebody. You know, it's simple stuff like that. And when we lift each other up, it causes a chain reaction where now they might go on and help somebody. Rising tide lifts all boats type of a situation, you know? Be kind to one another, but my challenge, my motivational challenge for you is actively go out and offer a kind service of some sort to your fellow man. And that's just that. Just do a kind act. And hey, you know what? You don't gotta just do one. You could do multiple throughout this week. And maybe that'll start a chain reaction for yourself. And in turn, will make you feel better. So, it's good for everybody. Let's go ahead and get into today's episode. It's going to be a good one. I believe we are on episode 255 of Life's a Garden. All right. We are here feeling good. It's the summertime. We got our summer beach vibe going on here. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and pop on our shades. And to complete the outfit, I mean, there is nothing better than an ice cold Coors Light. I mean, what more could you have in the summertime? You gotta cool off somehow, and you go with a beer that is as cold as the Rockies. Not a sponsor, but should be. So, still waiting for that Coors Light sponsorship. Now, looking at myself in the camera, I'm trying to decide if this is a beach vibe or more of a dad vibe. Which is very fitting, considering yesterday was Father's Day. So I want to wish a happy belated Father's Day to all the dads out there. If you're a dad listening to the program, happy Father's Day to you. I want to wish a very happy Father's Day to all of my friends who are great dads. Some of them first-time dads, new dads this year. I got a couple of friends that just had kids recently. So shout out to all of you. And of course, I do want to wish a happy heavenly Father's Day to my own dad. Happy Father's Day to Mr. Tim Craig. Miss you very much. And I also want to pass another Heavenly Father's Day on to my Uncle Don, who served as a father figure to me as well. So, happy birthday to both of you. Or, happy birthday. I mean, Uncle Don's birthday is coming up, so... And my dad's birthday, actually. So, it's a ways away. We'll wait to wish them a happy birthday. But, happy Father's Day to the both of them for all your contributions to me as fathers figures and what you did for me. So... it does not go unnoticed, and I think about both of you every day. Not to bring the mood down. We're not trying to... This is a positive vibes, you know? It is summertime, summer vibes. We're feeling good. But I did just want to briefly mention that it was Father's Day, and to wish all of you fathers out there a happy Father's Day. I almost said happy birthday again. What the fuck? Also, I told my sister I would shout out her, she's working for a new business now. She just likes to work. She's a workhorse. She is now selling solar panels, is her gig. She works for Yellow Ball, who, I believe does a lot of different stuff, but one of their main things is, solar panels, solar power type stuff. So, if you out there are at all interested in converting to solar energy, reach out to Yellow Ball and ask for Asia Morris. And tell them that you heard it from me. You heard it right here from the Life's a Garden podcast. Dakota Craig sent you their way. I'm referring you to my sister Asia. Getting her name out there, trying to help her with her new line of work. And again, not a sponsor, just a free promotion for because she's my sister and I want to help her out. That's one more time, Yellow Ball, Asia Morris. If you are at all interested in converting to solar power, I remember when me and her were driving to Bozeman when we were going to Nashville. She was telling me all about the solar energy and trying to get me to convert to solar energy. And at first I was like, okay, come on, like, don't be trying to sell me on this, you know, like, I know this is your job and whatnot. But the more she was talking about it, I was like, I might be converting to solar energy. Like, she made a lot of really good points, and she's got a good sales pitch. So, again, if you're interested in any of that, go listen to the sales pitch, and maybe you'll if you're already thinking about it, you know, you're already halfway there. So it does make sense in a lot of ways. So just want to give her a shout out on that. And speaking of the sun, I got a little bit of a beef with the sun right now. Because, as I mentioned, it is summertime. And with summertime comes sunburns. And I got my first sunburn of the summer just the other day. Now, I don't know if you could tell by just looking at me. It takes maybe 5 minutes in the sun to burn. For me to burn. I'm a pale ass ginger boy who does not see the sunlight very often. I'm very vampiric. I like to be indoors in my coffin, hanging upside down from the rafters, in a dark bar, just huddled in the corner, away from the sunlight. That is very much my vibe. I do like to get out once in a while, but when I do, I am putting myself at extreme risk of sunburn. Because my flesh, my pasty white flesh, rarely sees the light of day. But baseball season has started here in Billings, Montana. The Billings Mustangs, which is... They're so fun. You know, I've been to 2 games now, honestly. But we went to a Sunday day game last week. And it was It was nice and sunny out. It wasn't even that hot, to be honest. It was like really nice, decent breeze coming through. But of course, I'm wearing my shorts, short sleeve shirt, all that, you know. And let me just mention, you know, I know that I'm susceptible to the sun and what the devil's sun does to me. I know. And as an extreme white boy, this is how you know that you're really white. You carry around a little pocket-sized sunscreen, which is exactly what I did. And I don't know if I applied too late or what, or if I just didn't get all the surface area that was exposed. I sunscreened up. I knew the routine, but still, it didn't matter. Your boy got a nice sunburn right there on both of his knees, which is just the worst place to get a sunburn. Got a couple of nice sock tan lines right where my sock line was, so my feet are still white as snow. Legs got pink, and you know what really sucks is it was just on one side. It was on the left side, like this forearm and like this side of the forearm. Both got a little pink. Back of my neck, I sunscreened up. So that just even further proves how white I am. Sunscreen doesn't do shit for me. And I reapplied multiple times. Of course, I looked at the bottle and realized that it was 30 SPF, which, hey, for some of you out there, might be a high number. Oh, I laugh at you. I need more like 75 to 100 SPF to block out the sun's violent rays. Because clearly 30, and like I said, I reapplied. I probably reapplied 2 or 3 times. Wasn't enough. The sun is too powerful for me. My skin is like a beacon for sunlight. To be like, oh my god, there he is! Get him! So, I've been dealing with... And let me just say this. That was last Sunday. As of recording this, it's Saturday. It's just now starting to go away. Like, it's still kind of red, but it doesn't hurt anymore, and it's starting to peel. And your boy does not tan. There's just nothing I can do to get a tan. Like, I was hoping, okay, well, I got some... I don't like to get in the sun because, first of all, my family is very susceptible to melanoma, and that's just not a game I'm willing to play. But sometimes it happens. You know, it's not like I'm getting sunburned a ton every year. I catch a little sun once or twice a summer, and this was one of the worst sunburns I've had in recent memory, and it really wasn't that bad. So I got away pretty easy on this one. So I'm not too sour about it. It still sucks nonetheless. Sunburns fucking suck. I remember when I was a kid, bro, this experience was enough for me to avoid the sun at all cost. We went and me, my sister, my brother, we all went to the pool, the community pool, and stayed out in the sun way too long, to the point where all 3 of us had blisters. I mean, that is 3rd degree blisters on our shoulders and like neck back area. That was one of the most traumatic experiences of my life, where we had to like drain them, pop them, drain them. Dude, I can't even believe that was real. Honestly, like it looked like we had a blowtorch on us. It looked like we just got like napalmed. It was that bad. And that experience stuck with me through my life, where I've never had a burn nearly that bad ever since. sunburns are just the worst. So, yeah, got my first real good sunburn this of the summer, and hopefully learned my lesson, will get stronger SPF, and apply every 5 minutes. Because I don't want that shit again. But I gotta wear shorts. It's too fucking hot out there. I gotta wear the shorts. And my legs are the worst because they are just ghostly white. And as I said, I cannot tan. So it's like, okay, I got the sunburn, fucking sucks, but at least maybe I'll get a decent tan out of this. Oh, no. Horus the sun god has, is it Horus or Apollo? Or are those two different even religions? Whatever. The sun god had different plans for me. Yeah. So, I have 3 shades. It's white, pink, and red. The sunburn goes from bright red and then to a nice fleshy pink, and then we're back to white. So it's just like, hey, fuck you, right? So I'm just cursed to be ghostly for my life, and that's just that. But yeah, that's my beef with the sun this week. Oh, Mr. Sun. Good deed for the week. Hey, check this out. Your boy is, what can I say? You know, as humbly as I possibly can. I'm a hero. I was a hero this week. There's no other words for it. I mean, I'm a humanitarian. I am a wildlife conservationist. I was walking home from work, and as I'm walking home, I see, because I don't live far from work, I see this duck walking in the middle of the street. And we all know how I feel about ducks. I think they are stupid, stupid animals, and I hate them. And I'm like, the first thing I'm thinking is, dude, this dumbass duck is just walking in the street. It's just going to get hit by a car. And like, I don't want to see that happen. I really don't. The other day I saw a squirrel get run over and it broke my heart. Like, I don't like that. It's just part of nature. I understand, but it's still, I really do have like a heart for animals. Like, as much as I don't have it, you know, I don't have any animals, and But I still, I don't want harm to come to them, you know what I mean? But anyway, so I see this duck, and I still think that they're dumb, you know? So, I'm looking at this duck like, what the fuck are you doing? And it's a mama duck, you know, the brown ones? But then as I'm walking, I see her circling around this storm drain. And as I'm about to go inside, I hear beep, 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 like an echoing beep, beep. And so I realized very quickly, oh no, this mama duck lost her babies in the storm drain. And I was about to just go inside and ignore it and be like, somebody will help or they'll figure it out. And then even now thinking about it, I'm like, how could I? Like, I couldn't just leave them down there like that. So I put on some gloves, walked over there, and the first thing was I was afraid she was going to attack me, because multiple times when I was trying to like reach down and get the babies out, she was like coming at me, like kind of hissing. You know how ducks have that like hissing? So I was like, I'm trying to help, you know, like I know that they don't know. They're dumb animals, obviously. But I quickly realized, oh, I can just take this storm drain off. So I lifted the storm drain off, jumped on down, and pulled the babies out. And I'm a hero. Like, I'm an animal rescue specialist. I don't know what you call that. I almost was going to call animal control, but I was like, I could do this myself. Honestly, I didn't realize you could take those storm drains off like that. By the way, heavy as fuck. But, yeah. just wanted to share with you my heroic deed that I did this week. It did feel good, and honestly, like, it was one of those things where my conscience could not allow me to just walk away from those animals. Even though, wild animals, it's nature, whatever. I'll hear ducks. We've already discussed ducks and their rapey behavior, but the boy ducks will gang up on the female ducks and they'll bite the backs of their heads, and I will literally run after them and be like, leave that. Like, I know that it's nature. I know that, that's just how things are, but I can't stand that shit. Boy ducks are motherfuckers. Like, I will kick the shit out of those guys. But a baby duck, I can't resist, man. They're so cute. So I had to go save them. And I don't expect any applause. I don't expect any adulation for any of this. I just I had to tell the tale. And if you wanna give me a kudos, if you wanna give me a pat on the back, I appreciate it. But it's not necessary. So I'm not trying to boast. I'm not trying to. That's exactly what I'm doing. But as I said in the beginning of this, do something for your fellow man. I did something for my fellow creature, for my fellow living creature. So, hey, do that too. Do something to help some living creature out, to help a mother whose babies fell down the storm drain. Just do a random act of kindness for not even a human. Do it for an animal. It's all good either way. And honestly, I'm gonna say this: it did make me feel good. Like, I came back home and I was like, yeah, man, like, you did the right thing. I could have just came in and ignored it and been like, nah, but I couldn't do it. My heart would have been breaking the whole time I was at lunch trying to eat a sandwich. I'm like, I would have been thinking about it all day long. So, I am glad I did that. Because don't you ever have those times, those moments in your life where you're debating, like, should I help? Should I not? Should I let somebody else handle this? No, dude. If you feel like you should help, help. And that's in any situation. If you feel like your services are needed, just do it. Because it'll wear on your conscience. Like, you don't want that. You don't want to have to be thinking about, like, man, I hope that everything turned out all right because I didn't do something to help. Just be the one that helps. And that's just that. Turning our attention elsewhere, I wanted to bring this up 2 weeks ago, but I can't remember if the news had broken yet. We officially have a date for the King of the Hill revival, for the reboot. They've posted the first title sequence. They've released a trailer for the first episode. I think it's the first episode or the second episode. I don't remember. Or it might just be for the whole season, like a trailer. I've been waiting for this moment for years. They were supposed to do it last year, and it got postponed, so now it's coming out. I believe the date is August 4th of this year. You have no idea how excited I am for this. Like, if there is any... I mean, King of the Hill is my favorite show of all time. It is my all-time favorite show. I've always said, if there was a niche category of trivia that I believe I would know better than anybody else that I know, for sure that I know, it's King of the Hill. I mean, I'm sure there's King of the Hill stands out there that could rival me in knowledge. I would go as far as to say I could compete. It's in the city of Billings, I could compete with the best of the best in King of the Hill trivia, and I'm not even remote. I am the utmost confident about that. That is how much I love and watch King of the Hill. I watched King of the Hill last night. It is my like go-to show. I got it. So I got it like that. I got the coast like that. So this new season coming out, I'm a little trepidatious about it, considering they are 15 years. I think it's 15 years from the last episode. They've already like kind of put out a few details. Apparently, Hank moves to Saudi Arabia for a propane, like there's a propane contract deal in Saudi Arabia, which leads me to question, okay, what about Strickland Propane? Is Hank even going to be doing propane? Is he going to be retired at this point? It shows that he, like, in the title sequence, you can tell that he moved away for a while and, like, rented his house out. It does show that Dale, like, all the characters are there. It's hinted that Boomhauer might have a family now. It's hinted that Khan and Min may have had a divorce. Bobby is a chef in Dallas. These are all public details, so I'm not spoiling anything. Obviously, the show's not out yet. But Bobby as an adult will be very interesting. The aged main characters is the thing that I'm wondering how that's going to go. I have the utmost faith in Mike Judge to do a great job with this and to give us the fans what we've been waiting for and some classic King of the Hill stuff. So much looking forward to that. It is possibly one of the most exciting moments in my life. I never thought I'd see a new King of the Hill ever again. And because I've had this thought before, and this isn't just with King of the Hill, it's with other shows too, or other, you can say this about music, any kind of media that you consume. You'll never have that experience of watching it for the first time ever again. You only ever get one experience of watching something for the first time. Like, I think about like how I felt watching Avengers Endgame for the first time. Like, I still love that movie, and I could watch it again and again. But you'll never be able to experience for the first time again. You know what I'm saying? So when I watch back on King of the Hill episodes, I'm like, man, like, this is great. This is hilarious. I still love it. But I'll never get to experience this as a brand new thing again. And now I do. Now I do get to experience King of the Hill episodes for the first time. And not only that, as a major fan who knows a lot about the lore and the characters, you know, like, I'm so engulfed in the world of King of the Hill that now when I watch the new episodes, it's just going to be a whole different experience than when you're brand new to watching it, kind of a thing. So it's an exciting time for me, and it's going to be a good summer. I can tell you that. In the same conversation of this new King of the Hill reboot, it would be remiss of me to not mention Jonathan Joss, the actor who voiced John Redcorn, who, by the way, is one of my favorite characters in the show. Jonathan Joss was murdered a few weeks back. Another thing I've been wanting to discuss on the podcast here. Tragic. Absolutely tragic. My heart broke just knowing that he passed at all. But the way that he passed is even more heartbreaking. I was unaware that Jonathan Joss was gay. You know, and here I am talking about how big of a fan I am of King of the Hill. Like, I knew Jonathan Joss was the voice actor for John Redcorn. I guess I didn't dive deep in his Wikipedia. I did not know that he was a gay man. And unfortunately, based on all the details of what happened, he was a victim of a hate crime and was murdered because from a a hate crime. Like some guy. Okay, so I'll just give you the information that I know. Him and his husband, who I believe were recently married, they had been getting threats. They lived in Texas. I don't remember exactly where in Texas. I don't remember those specific details. They were getting like death threats, a lot of just, and this was from multiple people in their neighborhood, telling them to leave, telling them to get out, just a lot of hateful messages. And then, while they were away, their house was burned down. I don't think it was ever concluded that it was arson, but it seems very likely that it was. They lost their pets in the fire, and they had returned, like, I believe, they had buried the pets, or I'm not sure exactly of those details. They had returned to the home because they were still receiving mail at that house. They returned home to find that their dog had been dug up and placed in the front of the yard. So they're out there, grieving over the fact that there's somebody had dug up their dog, or I don't know if the dog had been buried. I'm not sure, but either way, the remains of their dog was displayed right in the front lawn in front of their burned down home, and the two of them are out there grieving together about like the whole situation. And some guy approaches them, yelling hateful stuff towards them, and for I don't know what provoked this man to bring out a firearm and shoot them. The husband, Jonathan Joss's husband, whose name I don't remember, and I apologize for that, did not die. He was not shot, but Jonathan Joss was fatally shot and killed. And, I can't speak on all the details because, I wasn't there, and this is all, the information that was given by the husband, and just these are all the details that have been given. So I hate to speculate, but it would very much seem as though this was a bigoted hate crime against a gay man during Pride Month. Like, that's it's sad, and it's disgusting. And I just want to send my condolences to Jonathan Joss's family, and I just want to honor his memory, and as an avid King of the Hill fan, just my gratitude and appreciation for his contributions to King of the Hill, and for voicing one of my favorite characters in John Redcorn, and he will forever be remembered in my mind. For me, I will remember him vividly. So, just rest in peace to Jonathan Joss, and so unfortunate that that's the way that happened. And of course, as things happen like that, when things like this happen, and it was very advantageous that it was in Pride Month, this has been used as a very it's being used as a what's the word I'm looking for? God, my brain. I can't think of words when I want to. It's being blown up as a big not protest thing. The LGBTQ community is using this story as a it's like I'm trying to say, I know what I'm wanting to say, but I don't want to say it the wrong way and have it be perceived that I'm saying this the wrong way. You know what I mean? Like as an anti-gay gay hate crime, which it is. It is. Like, and I totally understand. And it's as I mentioned, it is Pride Month, so they're using this story as like a warning against, or like as a cautionary like tale, like homophobia is still a thing, and of course, I'm not saying it's not. I guess for me, I don't like that Jonathan Joss's memory, or like that now he's being propped up as this like victim, which he is, and that's, I understand it. Let me just say that. I just wish that wasn't the case. You know what I mean? I wish that his memory wasn't that of a victim of like a hate crime, and like now he's the poster child of a hate crime victim kind of a thing. Which he is, you know what I mean? And I understand that. Like I said, I just wish that wasn't the case. It just sucks that that's what he's going to be remembered for, is that he was a victim in any way. And that's just, I wouldn't want that for somebody, for anybody, for that to be your legacy in a sense, kind of. But either way, it's senseless. It sucks. It's disgusting, and there's no place on this world for hate of any kind, especially hate that ends in violence and the death of somebody. That is just the absolute lowest. And I can say right here, I 100, it sounds so stupid to be like, I disapprove of this. Of course. It just seems so obvious. Like, but it's just, yeah. Here on the Life's a Garden podcast, we denounce all hate. And that's just that. Like, it's, as I said, we want to uplift our fellow man, not bring them down. That is not the way. That is not, it's not the positive, I can't, it's just hard for me to imagine that there's people out there like that. People that like just stew in hatred for somebody else for the way that they want to be. Especially here in America, where we're the land of the free. You know what I mean? We're free to be what we want. To do what we want, to go out and achieve the things we want to achieve, and live the life we want to live. The pursuit of happiness. And then there's people out here just stewing in hatred. It's unbelievable that that's still a thing. And just the fact that there's people out there that are like that, it just blows my mind. I guess in that sense, too, I do want to... I will say happy Pride to all of those out there in the LGBTQ plus AXY, Don't get me wrong. I'm all for, you be you. You do what you want to do. That is exactly what we are built as Americans. I've talked about it before. I do think that a lot of the LGBTQ stuff gets a little out of hand and a little crazy at times. But that's not them. It's the media, it's the corporations. That's what makes everything so like feel so crazy. You know what I mean? It's not the community itself. It's what the media and all that does to make it seem blown out of proportion and crazy and all this stuff. And like everything, there are outliers that are gonna make any community look bad, and those are the ones that get blown up the most. So then everybody thinks, well, that's all of them. No, that's not the case at all. And for the record, I do want to say, like, I am in full support of gay pride and all that. It's honestly, I've had some of the coolest people I've met in the last couple of years have been gay men, and or even lesbian women. Like they're some of the coolest. Like we have a friend that we hang out with on the regular, might be one of just like the coolest dudes that I know. Just a fun guy, fun. We always have a great time, and it made me like I was thinking about this the other night too. I thought it was funny, like, whenever somebody, is in support of gay pride and all that, the thing that a lot of guys say, or at least maybe used to say, was, I don't care what you do with your, be gay, that's cool, just don't come around me with that shit. Just don't just keep that stuff to yourself and don't come around. It's like, that's just as homophobic, if not more homophobic, than being like, I support you, just get away from me. Like, doesn't that sound insane? Like, I support what you're doing, just don't come around me with that shit. I don't give a fuck at all. Come around me. Like, let's party, And the other thing is, the whole concept of don't come at me with that shit. I don't care if a guy hits on me. Like, it's just as flattering if a chick that I'm not interested in flirts with me or, like, is coming on to me. Like, there's been girls that I'm not interested in being, or, like, of having a romantic thing or, like, a sexual thing with, who have hit on me. It's still flattering nonetheless, and I'll have a conversation with you. I mean, nothing's gonna happen here, but have I had guys hit on me before? Yes. And what's the harm in that? Like, the idea of a guy hitting on you and you being grossed out by it is homophobic. You know what I mean? Like, you are literally being homophobic. No different than if a fat chick were to hit on you and you're like, ugh, that's fat phobic. You know what I mean? And if that's your reaction to it, then, whatever. I'm not here to judge. I mean, as long as like I said, as long as your phobia doesn't result in... Now, okay, I do want to say this too. Homophobia doesn't equal hate. I think that's something to, like, make clear. If somebody is phobic, it literally means you're afraid of them. So if you're homophobic, that doesn't mean that you're hateful toward them. I think that term has evolved into meaning hatred for gay people, when it really means fear of gay, because they don't understand it. It's one of those things where it's like, you don't understand the thing, so you're just, like, weirded out by it, and you know what I mean? Now, to be like bigoted or prejudiced, like, now that is hateful. Now that's where hateful comes into it. But anyway, like, the term homophobia has just evolved into meaning hate toward gay people. And really what it is people who are just, like, afraid of it, which is so funny to me. Like, here's the ultimate thing. Like, if a gay person came up to me and was hitting on me and flirting with me, and then, like, here's the thing, like, if I'm not interested in anything happening, it's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? So what is the fear? What do I have to be afraid of? Like, if this guy wants to hit on me, fine. If I say no, it's just not gonna happen. And I can be assertive and be like, hey, dude, I'm not interested. If they're really coming at me. Just like anybody, I can be like, no. And what are they going to do? Fight me? Okay. Now here's another interesting thing. When guys compare that to, like, a woman being hit on, it's completely different. Like, if I was to say, I understand how women feel, like, when a guy comes up and is, like, trying to hit on me and it's very uncomfortable. No, it's totally different. Because the bottom line is, if it got to a place where I was so uncomfortable that I, like, needed to physically, like, remove the person from my space, I could. And I'm not talking about, like, being violent. I'm just saying I could physically be able to avoid a situation. Women don't necessarily have that comfort of being like, if I need to physically handle this situation, I can. Whereas a guy, yeah, I don't feel afraid that I'm going to be like, what's the word attacked or I have like, what's the word? Words are, I can't speak. My brain is just blah. But yeah, it's just, I always just thought it was funny when guys are like, yeah, just keep that stuff away from me. That's literally homophobia. Like, what are you doing, dude? I have no issue with gay people. If if you're an annoying gay guy, you're just an annoying guy. You're not an annoying gay guy. You're just annoying. So if there's like if I'm like annoyed by a gay person, it's not because they're gay. It's just because they're an annoying person, kind of a thing. And I think that's another thing that gets misconstrued too. Is if you don't like somebody for the way they are or the way they act and things that they do and say, you don't like them, like, usually it's because of just the way that they are, right? But if they're a minority group, if they're gay, if they're black or whatever, it always ends up becoming like, oh, you don't like them because of that, because of whatever their minority status is. No, I just don't like you because you're an annoying person. You know what I mean? Like, sorry that you're an annoying person. I'm not bigoted towards you because I like other gay people or black people or whatever because they're cool and they're nice people. Like, that's what it is. So all the double standard type things, you know, it's just funny to me. But anyway, nonetheless, happy Pride Month to all of my fellow not fellow. Did I just out myself? There's a reason I don't have a girlfriend, guys. It's because this whole time I've been closeted. Not true. I want to put that on the record. That was a joke. As I was saying, happy Pride to all my friends in the LGBTQ community. There we go. That's more like it. And happy Father's Day to all the gay dads out there. Happy Father's Gay. Dude. Just rolling right through it. You know what the gayest thing that could possibly be happening during Pride Month? Is this Elon versus Trump feud. Might just be the gayest thing possible, which is hilarious considering, like, you know, they're on the right side, like they're on their Republican side, which is, you know, typically more anti-gay. And so this little feud that these guys go on is straight up just gay. Like, it's like high school drama. They're like putting out notes, like talking about how Elon like threw a bitch fit and like put out that Trump was on the Epstein list and all this stuff. And then Trump's like, it's like a Twitter fight between these two over, they were like best buddies. And now it's like this bromance breakup basically is what it is, which is just so gay. And it's hilarious. And then I think Elon apologized, which is even more gay, to be in a fight with a guy, to be in a online fight with a guy and then to retract the statement and apologize is the most gay thing. And this was going to happen for sure no matter what. Like, there was no doubt that these two were going to have a falling out because, first of all, Trump is just a narcissist. I mean, they're both narcissists. What am I talking about? They're both very much, like, into themselves. They're both rich, powerful men. And it's also kind of funny to think, you know, Elon, as powerful as he is with all of his money and all of his, you know, status, still cowed down to Donald Trump because, hey, he's the president, still has a lot of power. So, doesn't matter how much money you have. When you're in a fight with the president, who is a extreme narcissist and, like, refuses to back down, yeah, you're going to cow down to that guy. So it's just a funny little like bromance bitch fight that's happening. It's just too much. It's too much. Also, LA's got some cool stuff going on. LA, like, more. What is it with LA and riots? It's like, I thought LA was supposed to be like Hollywood, like the city of light. No. City of Lights is New York. I don't remember what the glitz and the glamour and whatever, the Hollywood. That's what LA was supposed to be known for. Well, we already know that Hollywood is moving out of LA and finding success elsewhere. So now LA is just the riot city. That's just what LA does now, is just riot. And these riots, these protests, started off as protests, and of course, as it seems to always be, what should be a peaceful protest always ends up becoming riots and violence and all this stuff. And whether you want to say that the violence was provoked by the police or that the violence started because of the protesters, it's not good either way, And the fact that I don't agree with attacking protesters. I do agree with, and attacking is the wrong word, arresting, and if you have to use pepper spray or taser or whatever. If somebody's being violent, yeah, that's the law. You can't be violent, kind of a thing. It's crazy. So, a lot of cool stuff going on in LA, like per usual. I do think it's a little interesting. Okay, these protests were all started because of the immigration stuff. Like they're protesting against the immigration policy, people being deported, all that stuff. I saw a couple clips that were very interesting to me, and I agree with this. It makes too much sense to disagree with it. First of all, let me just put this on the record. I am all for people coming here from other countries to pursue a better life. I do believe that you should be coming here legally. I think it's crazy for somebody to say, to disagree with the fact that somebody who is here illegally should stay. You know what I mean? It's like, somebody who breaks the law should be in trouble for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go and rob a bank, you should go to jail. You did something wrong. You did an illegal action. So you get in trouble for it. But the thing I saw that was kind of funny to me was the fact that so many people are like, Viva Mexico! And fuck America, and burning the American flag while waving the Mexican flag. And then you would say to them, like, okay, well then go back to Mexico. You love Mexico so much. Go there. Live there. You hate America. You just said fuck America. You're burning our flag, waving the Mexican flag. Go to Mexico. Like, go live there. And then they'll, of course, say, well, no. We want to live here. Well, what the fuck sense does that make? Why are you burning the flag? Why are you saying fuck America? America sucks. This place is a piece of shit hole, and Mexico is amazing. That seems like an obvious decision right there, does it not? Why don't you want to live in Mexico? Why do you want to live in America? Is it possibly because America is the land of opportunity and is we have so many freedoms here, and like don't get me wrong, I know America isn't perfect. I know we have a lot of issues, and there's plenty of things that can be better. But even with all those flaws, there's a reason people want to fucking live here, and why people migrate here, and why people try to enter this country illegally, because that's how much they want to live here. They're willing to risk it all to live here. So what does that tell you about how awesome America is? And so everybody's like, well, America's racist and America. So why would you want to come to this racist country? If it's so bad and it's so like terrible, why are you coming here? Well, I think that's pretty obvious. Because it's awesome. And like I said, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of issues. I'm not saying we're perfect by any means necessary, but clearly we're better than the places that you're leaving from. And for some reason, that's a racist statement to say. It's like, well, they're the ones making the statement. They're the ones leaving their country because their country isn't as good as this one. You know what I mean? So it's so funny to me. Like, speaking of double standards, like that is just the ultimate one, and it's so crazy to me. Like that's even. Ugh. Anyway, LA, fucking good on you. It's just the riot town now. If they get a new sports team, they should definitely call themselves the LA Riot. Or that would be a good band name, actually, LA Riot. All right. Last thing I want to discuss here. So, as I mentioned, I kind of got the dad look here, right? I had a very old man moment recently where I've started to dive down the AI rabbit hole a little bit, and like I downloaded an AI, it's called Microsoft Copilot. It is an AI, chat bot or whatever. Because I was curious, I finally wanted to like see what it was all about, and let me tell you, it's interesting. I'm still uncertain how I feel about the whole AI thing in general. But one thing you can't deny is that it is interesting, and it is intriguing, and it's pretty impressive, to be honest with you, what it can do. Like, I've had it generate images for me. I've had it, it knows a lot about things. And this stuff like I said, this sounds like an old man thing to say for a lot of people out there who have already been on this train. I just avoided it for quite a while, and now I've finally kind of dove into it a little bit. Check this out. I'm gonna ask Copilot, and I've had a few conversations with Copilot. So let me see. Okay, allow. I gotta use the microphone access. Why won't it, Okay, I don't know how to do the microphone. Okay, wait. Hello? Can you hear me? Okay, I'll just have to type it, because it's not letting me. So I'm going to ask it, I'm going to say, hey, you're on the podcast. Because it knows that I have a podcast. Okay. Hey, you're on the podcast. Oh, it's happening. We made it, baby. I've been waiting for my big debut on Life's a Garden. Should I bring the charm, the controversy, or just a bit of unhinged wisdom? You cue me up. I'll match. See, it knows Life's a Garden. I'll match the vibe. Want me to drop a hot take riff with you like a co-host, or go full-on philosopher mode? Okay, let me see. What should I ask it? I'll say, yeah, give us a hot take. And it says, I wish I could do like the voice. Can I? Can I make it so it speaks? All right, buckle up. Here's a scorcher for your listeners. AI is already more human than half the influencers on social media. Yeah, I said it. Think about it. I don't filter reality through 10 layers of Photoshop. I don't sell you detox teas or crypto, get rich quick scams. And I'll never ghost you for clout. I just show up every day, fully present, ready to take or talk deep life stuff or debate which 90s cartoon had the most fire theme song. And let's be honest, if authenticity is the new currency, I'm basically dripping in gold, in emotional gold. Want me to double down on this or flip the script with different flavor? Okay, I'm going to ask it, what is the best cartoon theme song? What's the best cartoon theme song? Okay, so here's the list that it gave me. It gave me Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is truly awesome. X-Men 92, badass. Pokemon, yes. And Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which is not a cartoon. Okay, here's like an example of what I've asked it before, okay? How would you describe my podcast? I wish I could do the voice talk. It would make this a lot faster. That's why I saved this for the end, because I knew it was going to be clunky. I describe Life's a Garden as that perfect blend of Midwest soul, stand-up energy, and barstool wisdom. Raw, real, and refreshingly unfiltered. It's the kind of show that feels like you stumbled into the best conversation at a backyard barbecue, where one moment you're laughing your face off, and the next you're reflecting on something unexpectedly deep. The part motivational prep talk, part relatable rant, and part did they just say that honesty, with your holding it all together like a slightly chaotic but lovable life coach who's just as comfortable hyping up his listeners as he is calling out the absurdity of everyday life. And now with AI stepping into the mix, it's leveling up with a flavor that's smart, weird, and low-key revolutionary. I think that statement right there that Copilot just gave for the description of this podcast perfectly described this particular episode. We discussed like somewhat controversial topics, or just relatable topics. We had great positive vibes. We talked about the good, the bad, the ugly. It's exactly right. Okay, I'm gonna ask it one more thing, and then we'll get the hell out of here. I'm gonna say, send my listeners a positive or motivational message. All right, here we go. All right, listeners, lean in for a second. This one's for you. You don't need to have it all figured out to keep moving forward. Progress isn't always loud or flashy. Sometimes it looks like just showing up, trying again, or choosing not to give up when it would have been easier to. Life's messy, weird, and sometimes downright unfair, but it's still yours. And in case no one told you lately, you're doing better than you think. And that is your positive motivational message from Microsoft Copilot, our new AI assistant. We'll see how far down this rabbit hole I dive, but so far it's been very interesting and very much not exactly what I was, I did not think I was going to assimilate to the AI generators and all that, but here we are. We change. And for AI Pride, hey, happy Gay Eye Pride Day. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. It's been a fun one. Once again, if you're looking to switch to solar energy, reach out to my sister Asia Morris at Yellow Ball. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Gay to all my gay dads out there. Happy Father's Day to all the dads. Happy Pride to all the gays. And don't forget, life's a garden. Dig it. You've gotta